Okay, part two, private versus government giving. This one's about fathers versus the government. You wouldn't think there'd be a connection, but there is. The traditional role of fathers has always been to provide for their family. And of course, ultimately, we would say in the church, spiritually first. This does not mean that the mothers are not responsible, but we have verses in the Bible like Ephesians 6:4 that says that fathers train up your children in the Lord. But there's other verses like 1 Thessalonians 3:10 that say, if you do not eat, if you do not work, you do not eat. So there's really emphasis biblically on taking responsibility for feeding yourself by working. So that is a part of a larger narrative of a Christian work ethic. In fact, our nation was really built on a Protestant work ethic. So that's another thing. And then, don't want to leave out the moms, but traditionally, I'm talking about traditionally, people have applied the Bible verses like Titus 2, I think it's verse 3, young moms, it says young women, but actually the word neos is young mothers, care for your children, be homemakers, and that doesn't mean that they can't make money, but, the tradition is fathers outside the home, mothers inside the home. And, I'm not opposed to things changing, but there are also timeless things that we're better off not changing. And I believe that's one of them. I think we need to recapture the notion of the biblical notion of fathers training up their children, not only in the Lord spiritually, but in the Lord physically, in learning how to, A, take care of themselves. B, if you're going to have a family, take care of your family and your children until they're old enough to take care of themselves. And of course, both parents are involved in that process. But what I think is happening in our culture is we're losing the sense of fathers. So what's happening is we have a lot of people who are reaching the other end of life, post-retirement, where the dependency on the government instead for sources of food and help with rent and living life is falling more on society and the government, and it's not the government's role. So we need to get back to fathers training up their young boys that if you're going to have a family, you need to take care of them.